Well, good morning, everyone. I'm in the garage today instead of in the workshop. Part of the reason I'm in the garage is, well, the workshop is full of boxes. In fact, I've started to fill the garage up with boxes too. So what am I working on today? Well, I'm going to start with a cup of coffee. I'm a little slow this morning. I watched Sawmill Charlies presentation last night with Brad from Faith Apiary. So, and then of course afterwards I got on there with the guys and we started BSing, and the next thing you know, it was 1:30, 2 o'clock, something like that in the morning before I went to bed. So, a little bit slow this morning, got a little bit of a late start, but you know what? Check his channel out. Check Brad's presentation out. It absolutely awesome because there's a lot of similarities from what Brad did and is going through to what I'm doing and going through. So, like I say, very good presentation last night. So, but what am I doing here? Well, my shed is full. My garage is starting to fill up with boxes, so I need something to do with the boxes. So what we did is, Alan was over here, gave me a hand. So I need somewhere to store the boxes. So we've got some 3/8 plywood. The reason I went with 3/8 plywood is it's cheap, and what we're doing with it, I don't need a whole lot of structural capability with it. So we cut it down to 40 inches by 50 inches wide. Of course, we cut a piece off the end, of which I made the other piece because, of course, the sheets are 96 inches long, so you're not going to get two pieces 50 inches wide. But from the piece that was cut off in the end, we can add that to it. Now we've got two pieces that are 40 inches by 50 inches. What we're going to do, well, these are dry, so let me just show you. The reason I stain these up, this is actually a water-based log cabin protectant. So the reason I did that is I can wash it off, use a pressure washer or something like that now, and this piece of plywood will last a little bit longer. Why the styrofoam? Well, the styrofoam, as you can see, is full of saw cuts on it. So I put the styrofoam underneath my plywood before I use my my AccuCut to basically break the plywood and stuff down. So this just protects my table. So pallets, this worked out really well. You can pick these up pretty much anywhere. So these are all hardwood pallets. So they may look rough, but they're pretty solid. And all we're going to do, I'm going to put the paint inside down. I'm going to even this out on the pallet. And now I'm going to screw it down. I got to go get the drill gun. It's in the shed, or the work shed, I guess. I'll be right back. Burn. You know, if you watch the videos, I think it was what, two days ago here, it was +8. Actually, yesterday morning it was +2. Today I just checked the weather on my phone and it's warmed up slightly, but it's -22 degrees outside Celsius. So welcome to Alberta, I guess. Brr. All right. So we got this. Where's my tape measure? We got this more or less equalized out in place here. I just want to make sure it's not hanging over it any. And one of the things that we found with the pallets, do one side first and then adjust the other side before you do the center. Sometimes the pallets, I mean, they're strong, they're made out of hardwood. They're not glued or anything together, they're just stapled together, which is fine for what we're using here, but they're not necessarily always square. And the reason I'm screwing these down is in the future, if something does happen to the pallet, I can just unscrew this piece of plywood, screw it onto another pallet. I mean, you can pick pallets up everywhere. And you're back in business again. Time for a new bit. Alright, we're just going to start a screw here on this side. Actually, I'm going to pull it this way, so I'm going to start down here. And then, I'm just going to pull a pallet to where it's square. So I'm looking for about 1.5 inches on each side. Screw it in place. Oh, come on. Time for a new bit. And then as you can see, there's a runner that goes all the way down the center. So we're just going to tag that one as well. Oh, bit's going in the garbage after this project. Nothing I can stand more than tools that don't work. So, you might be asking, why? Why the plywood? And, well, quite honestly, is because this is what I want to do. Is it needed? Probably not. However, my idea behind this is these are mainly going to be used for storage of my boxes and in the honey house after extraction. So, the idea behind it is after the extraction, I can stack the pallets on here. So as you'll see, which I guess is our next step, with the size that I made it, it will fit 3 boxes flush with the edge. On the 50, make sure everything stays on there nice and tight and square. Hoop. And 2 boxes wide on the 40. So this gives me 6 boxes per pallet. Purchased a pallet jack, so it'll just slide in underneath, and I'll easily be able to move these around. So depending on how high I stack them, you know, in the honey house when I'm done, or you know, if somewhere down the road I get a sea can or something like that that Brad's got, then I could just change the height. And it's a convenient, easy way to store them. Of course, they'll have all the frames in, so each one of these coming out of the honey house, I have 9 frames in them of drawn comb, and it's just easy for me to go. I'm thinking I'm going to stack them up so I'll have 42 boxes per pallet, and my apiaries are set up for 40 colonies per apiary. So when it comes time to drop supers on, I can literally just load the pallets onto the truck, and you know, 1 or 2 pallets, 1 pallet will give each hive at the apiary a box with 1 or 2 to spare, so that's never a bad thing, right? Now, how do I keep these in place? I ripped these little boards. Actually, maybe I think I'll just pause the video. The furnace kicked on at minus 22 degrees outside. The furnace is a good thing. I'll just pause the video. I'm going to go refill my coffee cup. I'll come back when the furnace is off, and then I'll explain what I'm going to do and how I came up with the measurement for these little shims. Okay, coffee cup's filled. Heater's off. So, how did I come up with these shims? So these shims, the length of them is designed so that it goes inside the box with a little bit of play. So there's, I don't know, let's call it 1/4 inch. Yeah, there's about a 1/4 inch play. So it'll fit in between them. The idea is what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of these down on the inside of each of the box, and I'm going to fasten that in place so that when you remove the box, hopefully you can see this cleat remains in place, and it's easy reference to put the box back on. It'll just slide right back onto place, and that cleat will be there for a reference. Now, this depth was an interesting one, because depending on your box design, now, as everybody knows, I really prefer Lewis & Sons or Dancing Bee. Actually, the Dancing Bee boxes they're really well built. I really like those ones. But I prefer either Dancing Bee or Lewis & Sons boxes. These, as everybody knows, are neither. So the groove is a little bit deeper. In some of them, depends where your frame hangs in your box. So in these ones, the frame is only about a 1/16 of an inch up off the bottom. So of course, this slat being a 1/16 of an inch thick would do me absolutely no good. But making it this way, the frame still sits flat, so the next box that can go on top without interfering with it. So these ones I ended up making them, let's call it just under 3/16 of an inch. So just set this over here for now. So this length fits inside the box. This is 3/16 of an inch, and the width, in all honesty, I just ripped these out of a spruce 2x4. So the trick is you'll have to be careful, because however you fasten these, you don't want to crack this now that it gets a little bit small. So how am I going to fasten them in place? As any of my viewers know, I'm going to glue them, and I'm going to not be cheap on the glue. We'll get those in place, and because I had a 1/4 of an inch gap, I'm just going to snug it up to the inside edge, and I'm going to change or divide the spacing on both sides. And then I'm going to staple them in place. Now I'm only going to put one on each end. I'll remove the boxes. I'll show everybody where it is, and then I can finish stapling them in place. So, glue, staple, and repeat. Okay, now we've got all those stapled in place. We simply lift the boxes out of the way. And staple them down. pallet done. So now what I'll do is I'll dig out the that log deck wood preservative or stain, I guess, again. And it's important to use a waterproof product. So something that it shouldn't transfer. I'm not going to put anything on these till they're all dry. But at the same token, these are going to be for honey products. So make sure, you know, anything that you're doing or related to that is always a food safe product. You can never go wrong. But you can see now, it's easy. The box gets orientated really, really quickly. We can do the same on the other side. And it's perfectly in place. So this will be the, well, I guess this is the, this is the 5th one. I've got one more to do. So I'll have 6 boxes or 6 pallets, all of which will hold, 40 to 50 boxes, or once again, it just depends on the number of row will go up. So that's what I'm working on today. Hopefully, you like this. Once again, this is just what I do. It's not what everybody has to do. This is just my way of trying to keep things neat and tidy and in proper storage. And the one thing I did forget to mention is part of the reason I'm doing this is once I have them all stacked up in the honey room, I can shrink wrap them, throw a piece of cardboard or something like that on the top, and just wrap around with that shrink wrap, and that should keep them clean. I'm hoping it's going to keep all the little bugs and wax moth and stuff like that out of it too. But of course, they're going to be inside. They're either going to be, in a sea can or inside the honey house all winter anyways. So that's it. That's what I'm working on for this. I get these done, I'm back out building more boxes. Going to start on the other one. So that's going to be my day. Thank you everyone for watching. Take care.